Hi there and welcome to Whole Foods Market. My name's Eddie Boyle and I work here as a baker. Myself and my small team of artisan bakers are in here at 4 o'clock every morning making fresh bread for you. You know, making breads became very sexy over the last few years, and what we're going to do tonight is we're going to take one of these breads that we make in Whole Foods and show you how you can do it in your own home. I'll just talk you through some of the ingredients that we're going to use. Okay, so we're going to start with some strong white bread flour, which goes into the bowl as such. Some wheat bran, which goes in. Some malt diastic, and what malt diastic does is that works with the flour and the sugars and combines, and it helps give the bread a better flavour. We've got some wholemeal flour, drop that in as well. Some rye flour. Some salt for flavouring. Some fresh yeast. And we're going to pop this in, and always make sure when you're making bread in the house, keep the yeast separate from the salt. If you don't, if you put the yeast next to the salt, you'll find that it kills the effect of it, and it slows down the fermentation process of the bread. So always keep them separate in your bowl. So now we've got all the dry ingredients in the bowl. What I'm going to do now is give them a very quick mix round with my fingers just to blend them together. And then last, we're going to start adding the water. So if we've weighed all the ingredients off correctly, we just give it a quick blend together with the hands. Once that starts to combine, it's ready now to get knocked out onto the table. Dusting the flour again, bread onto the table, and this is where the fun starts. Now what we're doing here is my hand absolutely represents what a mixer would do. So all I'm doing is blending the dough together, and you'll see in my hand, if you had a dough hook on a mixer in your house, then that would be doing the same movement. If you're doing this 8 to 12 minutes mixing by hand, and what that does is that develops all the gluten and makes sure the bread's strong enough and ready for its first proof or its first fermentation. So that's us at a 12-minute mix now, and what we're ready to do here is add the walnuts. What you'll do is you'll find if you're doing any bread with nuts or seeds or fruit in it, you would always add them at probably the last 2 minutes of the mixing time. So whether you're mixing it in a bowl or whether you're doing what we're doing here tonight by hand, always leave the fruit and the nuts till the very end. And what that does is it tends not to break them down. If you're using fruit, that would bleed. So I'll just sit the walnuts on the table. And what I'm going to do is just gradually introduce the walnuts into the dough. This part can be a bit messy, but eventually the walnuts will combine with the dough. So stick with it. If they fall, pick them up and put them back in, and you'll see that very quickly, within a few minutes, all the walnuts will become incorporated. Work it right through, making sure you've got an even distribution. After all, you don't want some of your guests to have walnuts and some to have none. So once it's mixed and all the walnuts are incorporated, what we do is we're going to pop it back into this bowl here, cover it in cling film and give it its first proof. So this will take approximately 45 minutes. A nice big bit of cling film, cover the bowl, make sure it's nice and tight. So we'll leave that for 45 minutes and I'll go on and get on with some other work.